welcome to episode 5 of Queen Boss Corner, the podcast. And I'm sitting here with my childhood friend, Jada, my girl. Yes.
Already know.
She's closer to me now, so I had to call her on the show. Like, Gary, where you at?
We outside.
Yeah, we're outside. We're doing our thing. So I definitely want her to shout out her business. Her products are dope as fuck.
Thank you.
I love her stuff. I use her stuff.
She does.
And she's amazing.
Thank you. So as she said, I'm Jada. Jada Anastasia of Just Jada Natural Skincare. My brand is natural. It's targeted for the melanated community. I created it 13 years ago. I am a licensed esthetician. I take pride in my baby. So if you like, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Just Jada Skin. Also, my website is www.justjadaskin.com.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Make sure y'all check it out. I mean, I just love her products, and let's support, okay?
You know?
Let's support. So my pastor that I was watching, Bishop Bronner, shout out to Bishop Bronner. He was talking about forgiveness.
Okay.
Okay. So in our walk with God, forgiveness is like 100% important.
It is.
It's not even like 99, not 85%.
Definitely
100% important. So I just wanted to talk about that. I know for me, I struggle with forgiveness.
Yeah,
I
it's a tough
still
one. It's a
do
tough one, yeah.
At times, it's getting easier, but I still struggle with it. But it has helped me grow, and it has helped me have empathy and compassion for others. So, how do you deal with forgiveness? Like, how difficult was that for you in your walk with God? Because
I mean, it's really tough to forgive people. I guess it depends on, what it is that they do. But I have a big heart. So if someone hurts me in any way, on any level, any scale, it's a challenge for me to step back and be like, I can forgive them. You know what I mean? It's easier for me to be like, I'm just not going to deal with them. You know what I mean?
Go ahead.
Just keep it a buck. But but I also found out that what that does is it eats away at you slowly.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? You'll keep replaying the situation, thinking about it over and over. And, I realized that, and I think it was some show I was watching, and they were saying that forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you. And what I realized that, to have that own internal peace about any situation, I have to forgive in order to be able to move on. It's not about forgetting. It's not about acquitting someone of doing wrong. It's just, I need to have that peace.
Right.
So in being able to forgive others, it's allowed me to have an internal peace that I didn't have, when I was being Shady Jada.
Shady. You can throw Shady Shyra at him.
Listen, real quick. That's that New York
I will change
life.
your emoji.
Real quick.
I will change your number. You will go from a name to a non-name.
Block.
Quick. I will block you. Okay? And so, yes, I mean, again, I totally understand what you're saying, and I'm so at heart with it because that has been my struggle.
Absolutely.
And I was talking about in the last episode where it's just like feeling like Joyce Meyer was talking about carrying a bag of rocks. It's like you're picking up rocks, throwing another rock in the bag.
Yeah.
So forgiveness, yes, but there are so many blessings attached to forgiveness,
for sure,
right? So
yes.
once you forgive, God's like, all right, cool, you can move on to the next thing. I got something better for you. And sometimes your forgiveness is attached to people who can bring you into another blessing.
That part.
So you got to forgive somebody that you really didn't want to forgive just to, you know what I mean? And then God
sincerely.
brings you into another blessing, including with that person.
Absolutely.
So it's like, dang, okay, God,
Yeah.
I see you. So my blessing was directly connected to this forgiveness.
To this person? Yes, indeed.
Yes. So that is just, God is funny how he operates.
And he got a real sense of humor.
Okay. So what's your definition of loving others?
Love is an action word. People throw it around like it's a thing, but it's an action word. And I think when you love other people, you give them grace. You have compassion. You have kindness. You treat them with respect. And I think that all those things kind of go into love. You know what I mean? Like it's giving other people grace. It gives them room for error. You know what I mean? Your ability to look over things that they do that are wrong. And I think that in that way, it's very Christ-like. The concept of loving others is very Christ-like. It's putting others' needs ahead of your own. And it's very hard to do that sometimes, especially if you haven't mastered being, selfless.
It's very difficult.
It's easy to make it about you, but sometimes I think you have to kind of just take a step back and, just allow people grace and, be kind and be compassionate and be gentle and and really follow the mind of Christ when it comes to dealing with other people.
That's very true. Absolutely. I feel you on that tip too.
Yes, sir.
Loving others. And I was just saying I had an experience, girl. The ghetto that came out.
Oh, no, not the hood.
I was out to eat, having a meeting about the show about loving others.
Mm-hmm.
And almost got into it with somebody that worked there. And at the end of it all, I went and apologized to her before I left.
Oh, see.
And I'm like, okay,
Oh,
I'm being obedient to the Holy Spirit.
That's
I'm being
gross.
obedient to the Holy Spirit. I was trying to drag Shorty about 10 minutes before.
Don't do it.
But I was like, no, God, Lord. And God was like, look at you. You sitting here talking about loving others. You're going over your
about
shoulder.
to drag her.
And like, you're about to drag somebody.
That's
So
not cute.
it
Let's
wasn't
not do
cute.
that now.
So I had to get my whole entire self together. So, you know, loving others, no, it's not easy.
It's not.
But, you know, it's something that we can do. And, you know, when you learn that you can't control how other people are and how they act, it gets a lot easier.
Indeed.
And God loves us, right?
He do, and I'm
He do.
alive.
Shout out
And
to
I'm
God.
real, big ups, because I'm alive.
That part. I know he's like, my child,
Dang.
every day.
Like, what did I do? That's fine.
That part. So yes, God is amazing, and forgiveness is everything. Loving others is everything. That is why we're here. We're here for that purpose.
Yes.
And that's what this show is about, just talking about how we deal with those things. And what advice can you give? Ooh, child. What advice can you give to someone who is just starting to walk into their purpose, just starting their relationship with God? And what I will say is not a walk in the park. When you first start a relationship with God, is when you get attacked the most. Let's be clear.
Real clear.
So what advice do you have as far as, you know, someone just walking into their purpose and, you know, dealing with these types of subjects?
I mean, be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't set unrealistic expectations. Know that you're gonna fumble.
You're gonna fumble.
You're gonna mess up. Like, but the whole purpose of the walk with God is to learn and to grow and to be better. So you have to understand that it takes time, like any relationship. Like when you start dating somebody, it's not automatically perfect. You have to work at it. You know, it takes time. It takes grace. I keep throwing out that word grace because that's what it requires, is a level of understanding for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't beat yourself up when you mess up. It's cool. We all do. Like, nobody's perfect. Like, you know, but just understand that the goal is to not keep making the same mistake over and over again. You know,
going around that same mountain.
Yeah, because then that's counterproductive. I mean, I think we all have. You know. Yeah. But yeah, just, you know, it takes time, it takes patience.
Yeah. That's some great advice, y'all. Because, you know, this is some seasoned great advice. You understand what I'm saying? Because, and I always talk about it, you know, with my grandmother having the Bible Institute, and of course how we grew up, how our families are very, and, you know, they're very like this.
We grew up in a church together.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, even with growing up that way, you just know, like, I know I've always just loved God. I know there was always a connection there, but I didn't really quite understand it being so young.
Yes.
So it wasn't until I went through a very dark time in my life where I was like, okay, I'm angry and upset.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I going through this?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then at that point, I asked God to show me who God was. And I've been holding on to his hand ever since. So for me, it's just like a real personal relationship. It's very organic. It's not because of my family or anything like that. The seed was planted when I was younger.
Right.
But as far as really having a relationship with God, it wasn't until
you were older and went through some stuff.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait a minute, this is not fun at all.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you hit the nail on the head with something like, you know, as, you know, kids in church, you know, we're kind of conditioned to be a certain way. But then when you get older and you learn God in the light of who he is to you, mm-hmm. it becomes very different. You know, the experience becomes very different. It's not as tedious.
Not cookie cutter.
Yeah, you know, it's
strict.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's just, you know, to have a relationship with God, that's what it is. It's your personal relationship with God. So like when I'm praying, I don't talk to God with these long words from the dictionary. I talk to him like he's the homie.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a real relationship, and I think that's what people need to understand. Like, it's not a one size fits all. You have to have your own relationship with God, and that's when it becomes real for you. You know what I'm saying? That's when it makes sense. That's when it becomes organic. You know? Mm-hmm. And people need to understand that. Like,
they do. And this is why it's so important for us to get out here and just say, hey, we were in a dark spot. We go through this. We go through that. We have a relationship with God. And this is what a relationship with God looks like.
Exactly what
you know, it's not all these other, you know, ideas that you might have in your head. Like, it is so simple. It is just opening up your heart. It is so simple. And we look just like
Regular people, ordinary people.
You know, we
John Legend.
So yes, so that is the point that I wanted to get across in this episode, and I am so glad my girl came through.
Thank you for having
to
me.
chill with
Thank
me.
you.
Like, she is so dope.
Oh my God, so are you. Don't do
I'm
that.
so
Don't
proud of
make me
you.
blush.
I'm just saying, I am so proud. I ain't gonna say where we at, but I'm glad she did. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, that part.
It's
You
crazy
you
out
looking,
here.
you know,
These
no
streets.
problems.
But she's around me, and I'm
Yes.
glad she's closer. We're gonna say that. But I just thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, love. Thank you.
Yes. And you know you're always welcome.
Period. I'm here whenever you
That's
need
it.
me.
You don't call me. Okay. So I do want to also shout out my shirt.
Yes, brand.
The, Queen Boss Corner. We're gonna have some merch on the website soon.
Yes, let's get it.
And I just need y'all to check that out. And then you got some stuff on your site too. You got some merch on your site.
Some new stuff dropping Christmas time too. It's just Jada Skincare.
Yes. So
new products coming.
New products coming out.
Yes.
So make sure y'all check her out. Make sure y'all keep up with her. Her products are so dope, good
Thank
quality.
you.
Not just something thrown together. It's just everything's love. You can just tell love and effort and time is all put into it. So it's definitely something to go support. She's a dope person, and I'm so proud. She's saying that. So proud. So on the next show that we're gonna have, we're gonna be talking about practicing patience. Lord Jesus.
That's gonna be heavy.
I'm still working on that, y'all. Okay, patience.
Work in progress.
I'm not too good with that, so we definitely gonna talk about that. Something I gotta get out about patience. But thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all already know Queen Boss Corner, the podcast on Instagram. Make sure you follow us, queenbosscorner.com, the website. Make sure y'all tune in. Also, my book, Walking Into Your Divine Purpose. Make sure you check it out on Amazon. It just talks about real life, real experiences, and all of that. Like everything that we need.
We need the room.
We need the real.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Very transparent. This is who we are. We're not being phony or fake. This is just what it is. So yeah. So everybody just, thank you for tuning in and stay focused. Stick to your purpose. Listen to what God's telling you. Don't worry about everybody else is telling you.
Do you?
I can honestly say that if I would have listened to, and I said this before, if I would have listened to any of the negative shit people said to me, I wouldn't even be sitting here right now. I'd be somewhere I don't even know where I'd be.
Messed up.
Not pursuing my
working
purpose.
in your purpose.
That part. So y'all just make sure y'all stay true and listen to what God is telling you.
Yes.
It's all for your good. It's all part of the course. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate y'all.